Hello, everyone. I'm Colleen Vanderzijden, and this is Creating an Inspired Life. I'm so happy you're watching and you're listening tonight. I have a really wonderful show planned. I'm a medium, and as a medium, I help people connect with their loved ones on the other side. And I'm also a spiritual life coach. And as a life coach, I help people create what it is that they're looking for, their most unique, most awesome, inspired life. And every week on this show, I do something, tell you something that can help you live your best life. And today's special show, because I have an evidential medium here, Jen Shepard from Western Pennsylvania in the United States. And she's going to tell us all about mediumship and all about how she got into it, all sorts of stuff. We're going to have a really great show. And then after we've talked a little bit, we're going to take a caller. So it will be really wonderful to see what happens here. Now, Jen is, as I said, an evidential medium, and she's also a Reiki healer and a Qigong healer. She is, and we like to call people who are in this field, who are really wonderful people, a being of love and light. And this is Jen. I've worked with her a few times demonstrating mediumship, and her mediumship is amazingly wonderful. She obviously cares about the people that she is working for, spirit and her clients here in the physical. She does lectures, she demonstrates the mediumship, she does healing, she teaches classes. She is a most wonderful person, and I'm so excited to have her here. So Jen, thank you so much for being on my show.
That's quite the introduction.
Well, you are a wonderful person.
Thank you.
And so, I want to talk a little bit about how you got involved in mediumship. What led you to mediumship? It's not usually a normal career choice.
No, not really. Actually, healing and Qigong led me to the mediumship. So we were searching, my husband and I at the time were searching for different ways of healing, for spiritual healing, and I got involved with Qigong, and that just opened a lot of energy doors. In fact, I would really relate my Qigong experience for opening up the evidential mediumship doors.
Really? So when you did the Qigong, what happened what shifted inside?
Well, when you learn your own energy, that helps. When you allow yourself to be healed, that certainly helps.
Oh, yes.
And I actually went away for a 2-week Qigong retreat, and just immersed in it. And by the end of that, it was quite amazing.
Really? Who did you study with when you did that?
Master Robert Pang. He's who I studied with.
Yeah, I took a class from him, or a couple classes from him, and he's an amazing man. He has so many abilities, and just watching him and seeing what can happen when he's teaching.
Yeah, he's an absolute powerhouse.
He really is. So when you opened up your energy, was it a natural thing that just all of a sudden you started noticing spirits, or was it kind of like, well, now this seems interesting to me?
Well, all of a sudden the spirits were really identifiable. So, before you'd have these feelings, or I'd have feelings, I'd kind of know things, back and forth. But after that moment, that allowing, then, then I knew it was male or female, relationships and, just, all of that, the real nitty gritty of who they were or are.
Yes. Yeah, we always like to use the present tense when we're describing our spirits that we're talking to. Sometimes my clients will correct me, and I go, no, he is this way.
Yes.
And they go, no, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so alive to us that, sometimes people don't understand it, So when you went through this healing process, and did you find that as you did that your ego actually started to get out of your way?
Yeah. I think it almost has to. You become more less concerned about the constructs of the world, and less concerned about what other people are viewing you as, and less concerned, about a lot of things that you thought were important before. They fade away, because once you realize that your people are on the other side, and that you're not going to die, then all of a sudden all these other things just, it's like, why are you worrying about all this stuff if there's so much more?
Yes. It's like our priorities realign to the way they really are supposed to be, where we're not so concerned about some of our life issues. We still have them as everyone else does, but we kind of can look at them in a different way usually.
You almost have to.
Yeah, you do, because if your mind is someplace else, you can't do the mediumship so well, or even the healing if you're going crazy inside.
No, or you learn how to take care of what you need to take care of right away. So if there is an issue or there's something, you learn how to have conversations with people, and you just care of your life a little faster.
Yeah.
And then that it's not the end of the world if you say something or you manage something, or it could even be little things. You don't have to. I don't know. There's a level of extra kindness in there, not just for other people, but for yourself.
Right. And this isn't, and sometimes people think, oh, well, I'm going to be a healer, or I'm going to be a medium. I'm going to take a 2-hour class and I'm done.
No, I have to tell you, my first mediumship class was a 6-hour class, and I got a little certificate that said I was certified. And it was so far from the truth. There's just no way, that I would have done so much damage, not just to other people, but myself. That, it's a lifelong process. And I still go to classes. I know you still go to classes too.
Yes.
You have to.
We do. Yeah, there's always a level and a different layer we can get to, and people sometimes don't recognize the depth of this work.
Yeah, it's allowing yourself to grow up in the realization. So you don't just stay there. You don't stay at, oh, I know this and I know how to read and I know my ABCs. You got to go and look at the whole encyclopedia at some time or another.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. There's always more. So I know some people are thinking, what is an evidential medium? How would you describe that?
It is a way for me to assure people that I'm not making stuff up. So hopefully it comes across, or the goal is for the spirit person to bring themselves back to life in some fashion for the people in front of them, so they can share memories or objects, or can even let the loved ones know what they're aware of, what's happening now in their lives, to show that they're still there. They're still a part of the world. So, sometimes you get names. That's always exciting.
It is. It doesn't happen much, but
yeah, dates, objects. I know I did a demonstration last night, and you'll get words that I didn't even know. I had to tell somebody about a curio cabinet. I don't even know what a curio cabinet is. I had to ask what it was, but she knew exactly what her spirit person was talking about. So that's for me, that's brilliant, because if I don't even have a frame of reference for what I'm talking about, and they do, then that's perfect.
Yes, and sometimes it's those pieces that we think ourselves that they're kind of random that turn into the biggest thing ever, the most profound piece of evidence. Exactly.
It's like you just learn to trust to say whatever it is.
Whatever it feels like, I'm just going to say it and get it out there. I remember talking to somebody once about rubber bands. I said, I'm seeing rubber bands. And I thought, oh, God, really? I'm going to say that? And she goes, oh, my God, we just bought an RV. We opened the drawer up and it was full of rubber bands. And I thought, really? How strange is that? But that was an interesting piece of information that's out there. Now, you've had quite a few clients and you've been all over the place studying and doing readings and stuff. Have you had any particular moments with clients where you thought, wow, this was so healing for them? Have you had anything like that where you could share something?
Yeah, there was, I hate to say too much just because of client confidentiality, but there was several ladies came, and of course they don't tell me anything, but out of the reading that the son had while he was in service. And And she had feelings about that, and she kind of knew partial stories, but she didn't know the full depth of what he had gone through. And since it was a PTS, post-traumatic stress passing, the whole family, but to realize for her, her whole shoulders, her whole everything, her whole demeanor just totally relaxed, when he was able to explain some things and also say that it was nobody's fault at all, that that it was nobody's fault. I mean, that for that mother to hear that it was nobody's fault, and it seems like those are the ones that I think are the most healing, in their whole body language, when they're carrying around so much guilt, and the spirit person can come through with enough of their life that they really know it's them, and then say, you know what, don't blame yourself. This is just what it was for now.
Oh, yes.
That for me is the healing part. It's not only let them know that their loved ones are still with them, but when they get something that says, that, especially the ones that are carrying around guilt or blame or because of their loved ones passing.
There's so many people who they carry this guilt they weren't there, or they carry this guilt they should have done something differently. And so frequently the spirits will come in and say, no, I take total responsibility for my actions, and you couldn't have stopped me, you couldn't have changed it. It was my path. And it's so important for them to hear that.
Exactly.
Have that healing. Now, speaking of healing, you have written a book, Healing Through Spirit, Living in Love. So what is this all about, and where can people get it?
Well, it's on Amazon, so that's easy. It's actually kind of a collection of essays that I wrote both during and after my husband's illness, and then after he passed. Mm-hmm. So it was partially healing for myself, just to write it and to show that you could still live and be loving and feel loved even through a crisis. So it is kind of an essay format. And at the time, I look at it now, I'm actually in the middle of writing something else. And somebody just said to me recently, I wonder what it'll be like with your next one, because that one, I think, was a 2012 book. And your viewpoints,
oh yeah,
they expand. And when you're in the moment of crisis of essay writing, which some of that was, it's also redemption and loving, but some of it's, crisis mode. And when you remove yourself from that and look back on it, it's sometimes it's a more healing story than in the middle of it.
I would think it would be very helpful for people who are going through a problem, a crisis, with a loved one's illness and passing too, to recognize that you have experienced this and you've made it through, and you've learned and you still see that love there and all of that. Now, Jen is a wonderful person, as I've said many times, and I'm just going to keep saying it. She is so involved with helping people learning and growing herself. And she has an organization that she co-founded called Bolts of Love. And you can reach that at boltsoflove.com. And let me mention her website, too, so I don't forget. I'll do it again later, but just in case, it's jenshepardmedium.com. But with Bolts of Love, she's out there and she's helping people. Can you tell us what your purpose is here for this?
Mostly to let people know that everybody has a piece of the truth. So we started off 3.5 years ago as mostly a speaker series. And we invited in, well, you're a guest.
I have been a guest, yes.
Yeah, we invited in absolutely everybody we could possibly grab, anybody that could share their story and where they're at. And it's interesting, our very, very first guest is a girl that was going through a congestive heart defect through her entire life. Wow. And she was able to share, how that affected her life, how it affected her spiritual growth. And actually, she's on my mind right now because she's at another phase where she just got put into the hospital for to possibly receive her transplant soon. Wow. But to know that we have people like that we can follow through their journey, and everybody has a journey that everybody else can learn from. So, I mean, that was really why it started was so to give everybody voice and to know that everybody has a piece of the truth and everybody can learn from everybody else, no matter what the journey or their vocabulary set. Because we're learning that the way I might say spirit and somebody else might totally hate that word and would rather say God or divine or Mother Earth or Gaia or, and we've learning that it doesn't matter, that we all can come together. And then it's flourished from there, though. It's flourished into classes and into mediumship demonstrations and healing demonstrations and even Qigong demonstrations now. We do that once a month. So yeah, it just keeps moving.
Yeah, it's an awesome program. So if anyone's around in the Western Pennsylvania area, you can go there, or if you want to just go make a point of visiting, she on her website in boltsoflove.com and JenShepardMedium.com, you can find lots of information. Now, my theme is always coming up with steps to help people live their best, most awesome, inspired life. So what do you think is most important for people to help them become empowered to create their best, special, awesome life?
They need to be true to them. So whatever vocabulary set, whatever the path, whatever the history, you start there and then you explore and you allow it to morph. So you don't have to stay. That's a starting place. So, and again, whatever it is, honor yourself first. Honor yourself first, and through the speaker series, we have people honoring themselves all kinds of ways. We have one lady that's strictly vegan, and that's how she honors her spirituality, and she grows from there. And another one is very, she calls herself a barefooter. I mean, that's how she started her meditation, was barefooting, hiking through the forest, and I would never think of these things in a million years, but it totally works for them. So, whatever works for them to start, and then be willing to explore and know that that's not the end, it's the beginning.
Yeah, so many people don't even really know who they are. So it is quite a process and discovery to be true to yourself. Mm-hmm. And that's a great tip. Okay, everybody, that's a great tip. Hold on to that. Okay, so this is Jen Shepard. You can reach her at JenShepardMedium.com. And what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to our first caller, probably our only caller tonight, because we had so much to talk about as usual. And this is Margaret from Australia. And Margaret, I'm going to have Jen help you out with a reading.
Thank you very much.
You can just talk right to her.
Hi, Margaret.
Thank you, Jen. Hi.
Hi. So how are you this evening?
Fine, thank you. We're at daytime here, so we're at 10:51 a.m., so it's beautiful sunny.
Okay. So what can we help you with today?
Well, I have a little foster daughter. It's kinship care, so she's about 17 months old, and there's a court case coming up for her on the 10th of July, and I was wanting to sort of see whether or not I'm going to keep her. And the other thing that's sort of bothering me is her uncle is my partner, and, he's let's just say he's a very loose wire. He's hot-tempered, he can get verbal and violent, and yeah, so.
Margaret, you're on your mother's side. Your mother is in spirit?
Yes.
Okay, because I know your mother is very aware of what's going on and what you're talking about. And she's bringing up that you have her knickknacks, her jewelry in a box. Yes?
Yeah, I don't know whether it's in a box, but yes.
Okay, and one of them is a rock or a clear, like a diamond, a clear rock?
A clear
like
rock?
Like a quartz or something like that?
I've got her engagement, hers. No, I don't. I don't know whether I've got anything of hers left. I had it, but I had to sell. I might have something left. I'm not sure. I've got a brooch.
Right. As long as you know what she's talking about, I'm fine with that. And I also, I need to share a memory that she has of a larger, like, picture-type window that it has a lot of light coming through. So I don't know if it's like it's like a sunrise window. The morning sun would come through it. Do you remember this place?
No, I don't remember a lot about my childhood, unfortunately.
Okay, well, go back through some pictures or ask, because I know that's a place of happiness for her. In fact, I think if you go through the pictures, I know you're going to find a photo of yourself as a little person standing in front of this window, and I know it would be more towards morning time. And so she's just pointing those things out for you to let you know that she really is with you and she understands what's going on. And in order to solve issues like this, or to feel them with your spirit people, you feel the love of them and you feel the way you would want to feel with it resolved in the best way possible for everybody. So how does that feel to you? You know, or do you feel at peace? Do you feel tranquility? Because that's how you bring that about.
I know that it will resolve itself and the universe will look after us. But yes.
Because it really, when you started off, I felt a lot of anxiety. And unfortunately or fortunately, spirit doesn't work well with anxiety. It's hard to get through. So to feel that love and the tranquility will help. I know you're gonna need to really look for that and keep that peace within yourself in order to keep people around you thinking clearly. And it really feels like you have about another 6 months of allowing yourself to feel this before you really feel like you're out of the woods with your issue.
Possibly that will be when I move.
Okay. There's also there's an area with trees that do not have branches near the bottom. So it's like a longer trunk, and then the branches are on the top. You understand this place?
Trees. Yeah, I mean, we used to go to the orchards and things. So yeah, I mean, I don't remember a tree like that. But as I say, I don't have a lot of memories from when I was young.
All right. Well, it just feels like Mom wants you to try to remember, happy stuff, because right now you're not in that happy place. So Spirit will take you to the happy places. It's not too bad to go find a tree and go climb, go have some fun. Because it's anything you need to lighten yourself. Margaret, you're named after someone?
Yes, my father's sister who passed away.
There you go. She says hi as well.
Oh, because she passed away before I was born.
Well, I need to recognize that you have a namesake in spirit.
Yes.
Okay, and again, you have the old photos. I know you have a photo album.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so take some time to go through that. I know you'll find that picture window, and then you'll find some of the. You'll probably find references to the trees as well.
Probably.
Okay. Okay. I'm being told we're about out of time, Margaret. So I'm going to thank you for calling very much. I don't think I've ever talked to Australia before.
Oh, that's lovely then.
Yes, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yes, isn't it interesting, when the spirits come in and they want to be involved in our lives, and just to let her know that it's good, it's going to be okay, is really important for her. Yeah, you gave her some really nice evidence of spirit, which I hope the people who are listening and watching really appreciate that. So they realize it's more than just your mom says hi and we have nothing else with it. Exactly. It's really wonderful. It's a really good thing. Yeah, it's so much fun to talk to the people from all over the world on the show. That
was a surprise.
Yeah, they call in from everywhere. So So we're going to be wrapping up, and I was talking to Jen Shepherd, and I want to thank you, Jen, so much for coming and being on the show. And you can reach her at jenshepherdmedium.com. And I'm Colleen Vander Zyden, and this was Creating an Inspired Life. And this week, just remember to be true to yourself. Pay attention to who you are and live your life based on who you are, not on what anyone else says to you or tells you to do. You can reach me at psychicmediumcolleen.com. Also on Facebook, Medium Coach Colleen Vander Zyden. And I do want to thank you for listening and watching. And I will see you next week. Thank you. And I will love to hear from you. Bye-bye.
Bye.